Today we gathered to introduce you with our professor Shumaila. She is our director of Nazarbayev University Research Center. She is our inspiration to do all our research work with our team. And we want to know the history, how you start working as a researcher and how you come up with the idea of opening Nursi.
Okay, so how I became a researcher, I never thought I would be one. But when I went to UK to do my master's, it was the first time I actually started writing assignments which will have references and literature review and those kind of things, you know. And then I did my master's thesis, and I quite enjoyed putting many ideas together and coming up with something new. So I like doing that, and I felt that maybe, and at that time I didn't really know what I exactly want to do with my life. So I was also thinking of applying to World Bank, to their young professional program, or going back to industry and working there, or maybe being an academic. So I thought, okay, maybe I can continue with my PhD, we finish it in 3-4 years, and then see, because it will be helpful in wherever I go. So then my mom at that time, she encouraged me. She said that do it now if you really want to do it. Your mind is fresh, you are single, there is no responsibility. So I just started my PhD at Cardiff University. And I just loved it. It was something so exciting to read some papers and then to bring some ideas together, make a conceptual model, do some research, write about it. I finished my PhD in 2.5 years. So it's just, yeah, it was very quick.
Very quick.
Very quick, yeah. Because I enjoyed it. I would just sleep in my office. So I was like, you know, I had a table like this and I would sleep underneath it. I had my pillow and my duvet. And I didn't even want to go to my dormitory. I just couldn't wait to wake up every morning and then just to start working again. You see, I think in PhD and in life, when you can see the path clearly in front of you, then it becomes exciting. When you have confusions, then you don't know what to do, and that can become a bad cycle. Yeah. So I was clear in my mind. I knew actually whatever I do, I make a plan, kind of game plan first. You know, I want to see, okay, this is the finishing line, this is where I want to go, and then how can I go there? Yeah, so I made a plan how to finish my PhD. I finished it in 2.5 years. A position came up at Cardiff University. I still wasn't thinking to become an academic at that time. And then I already had 2 papers, and my supervisor encouraged me to apply, and I just found myself being a lecturer in a university. I was 25 at that time.
Wow.
Very young, yeah. So
yes.
Then I had a lot of papers to write from my PhD. I was doing that, and then a point came, it was on marketing and consumer behavior. A point came when I couldn't really see a match between consumer behavior and marketing and my personal values. So I pivoted towards entrepreneurship. Just by accident, I met some researcher, we worked together, and I loved entrepreneurship. And then after moving to Central Asia, I for the first time had actually the chance to meet my respondents, my study participants. And that was like a turning point for me, because seeing them doing what they're doing, about which I was writing, seeing their struggles, their daily life, that was really so inspiring for me. And every person was giving me so many ideas for a paper. And there are so many countries here. Each has their own culture, history, traditions. And so I had this grant as well, which I was very lucky to get. And then with that grant into 2022, we started the Entrepreneurship Research Center. And then that was just, you know, a start of all the projects we moved forward towards. We wrote a lot of papers about women and entrepreneurs in many Central Asian countries. We also wanted to write books on them to acknowledge their stories. And then just one thing led to another. New ideas started opening up. And we have done now about 8 or 9 books. I think they're all here in my shelf area.
Okay, we will show it in the video.
And many papers, so many researchers came, got trained, moved on to different. You are here with us. Aloha is doing her PhD. So the PhD program, I also pushed for it to be started. So I wrote the whole program plan and got it approved with the help of our team. So I was very happy that PhD is starting, and then we now have, you are in our 3rd cohort. So it's all very natural. All of that is quite organic growth, yeah. But I'm just so glad we have created a momentum. Then we are doing these conferences, yeah. This weekend we are starting the new conference. Also, this is very fulfilling. All of that we do now is a lot of hard work, but it's also fulfilling to see we are making some meaningful change in other people's life, be it academics, practitioners, entrepreneurs, policymakers. So,
and what is your future plans for the research? Maybe you have some new ideas, maybe some new fresh things that you want to add.
Yeah, so now we are quite, I mean, you can never be done. There are a lot of things needs to be done with you. We are working with disabled entrepreneurs, and I would like this project to move forward to a place where we can recommend some things for the policy. Yeah, so hopefully that can go forward. And we are doing trainings as well. I would like this training to go to the regions now. In next year, I hope we can go to small places where a university like ours has not been before. Yeah, we have done in big cities now, but I think it's time to take it to those places now, to those peoples. And another project that I want to do is on Aral Sea and entrepreneurship, on how entrepreneurship is helping to revive the community over there. So I would actually like to go there and see, and on both sides of Aral Sea. One is in Uzbekistan, I think, yeah, and Uzbekistan or Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, maybe. I don't know. It has on 2 countries, yeah.
Yes.
So I would like to go and do some qualitative research work there. That's something is making me exciting right now. There is another project that's been in my mind for so long. I want to go to Mongolia. And there is this Kazakh community in Bayan-Ulgi. I want to go and see how entrepreneurship has helped them keep their identity. Yeah, they moved from here to Mongolia, and they have kept the Kazakh traditions in its most purest form. Yeah, and I'm sure entrepreneurship has a lot to do with that. So that's one thing I want to do. And Turkmenistan is still one place I haven't been, so I hope one day we can go there and visit. These are some projects in my mind, all very exciting, yeah, and they all involve meeting people, meeting communities, and asking them and bringing their voices, and then writing books and writing papers out of them.
Thank you very much for sharing your plans. And now maybe some kind of not tips, but maybe advice for the people who is watching us, and also maybe asking themselves, do I want to be a researcher? Do I want to do PhD? Or maybe how they could identify this kind of motivation inside them, and what kind of skills they need, maybe what kind of personality they need to have to be successful in academia.
Okay. Yeah. So one thing, you first of all, you must be interested in writing. Yeah. If you are not interested in writing, and writing could be writing diaries, writing small notes, writing letters. I've always written letters since my childhood, and diary, notes.
This was some. A lot also.
Yeah. So if you don't have a habit of writing and you're not motivated to write, just forget about it. because this is what we do as researchers. Yeah, we write. Yes, there is ChatGPT now, but you still need to give that command to ChatGPT to write, and for that you should have a writing brain. Yeah. Second, you need to read. Reading, not only just books, reading just newspapers, magazines. So if you have, and for reading, the skim reading, when you read and then you just quickly get the meaning out of it. Yeah, and that only develops if you have been reading. So that's two things before you want to reading and writing. And then you should be able to stick with the problem for a long time. If you give up and you just get bored, and you cannot, you start but you don't finish, then you cannot succeed here. Because all your research projects, papers, books, everything has to finish. If they don't finish, you cannot move forward with your research journey. Yes. So you should be a finisher, and you should not be somebody who gives up and who gets bored easily with things. You will get bored, a point will come, but then you must be able to persevere. This grit is very important. I think you don't need to be a people's person. You can just sit still in your office and do quantitative work or work on secondary databases. But if you want to be a qualitative researcher, then it's important that you have people skills, you are able to listen, you are able to show empathy, and you are able to understand what people are saying to you. So that's only if you want to be a qualitative researcher. I think these are the few things. From the previous one, I want to say one more thing. Yes. Is that, some people think the researchers are very clever, intelligent people. I kind of disagree with that. You don't have to be a very high IQ or very super clever person. No. Mm-hmm. You just have to be consistent. Showing up every day and doing things consistently, that's what will take you forward from all those clever people. So, yeah, that's something as well. People sometimes think, oh, I'm not clever enough to be a researcher. No, there's
And what kind of challenges did you face in your academia journey? What could maybe sometimes disappoint a researcher when they start their journey, maybe?
So when you send a paper for submission, it can get rejected. Your ideas can be rejected initially, especially when you do not have a name. Mm-hmm. You should work with some people who have been through this, who have some reputation that can avoid that. But if you're working on your own or not with well-known people, that can be disappointed and heartbreaking, and you may just give up. That's one thing that can be disappointing. And then, like every other field, for women, it's challenging. Especially when I had my children, it was challenging to balance work and research together. When you are focusing on something and a child comes and says something, it's just so much disruption. Your body goes into this kind of fight mode, and then stress hormones are coming up, and it's very difficult to go back to that concentration point and to start writing. So that's challenging, but eventually I think you just learn with working with this disruption and then going back, disruption and then going back. So you should be able to cut off from everything and just still write, so that's one thing. The other thing is, of course, your working hours become late night hours. We are not like men who can go to the office and then be there, work with nicely, and then come home and everything is sorted. We cannot do that. Yeah, we have to run both things together. And then where do we find time? We find time at night, and then we have to cut from our sleep. Yeah. And then, but that's, I'm not recommending that women should do that. It's not good to cut on your sleep, but what can we do? So that's one paper that we just recently wrote about temporal injustice, how time become a source of injustice, that we have to carve time out from our sleep, from our rest, from our self-care, to be able to give to our research. Yeah. So that's a challenge. And third challenge, of course, is to move forward in any field for women is much, much harder than men. Yeah, you face a lot of barriers, walls, roofs, whatever they are, and I faced so much. I faced a lot, and that can either make you give up and just think, okay, I'm not good enough. Imposter syndrome can kick in as well. You just think, I'm not cut out for that. I'm not good enough to be promoted, to be a full professor. Or you just say, no, you are all wrong. I am good. I can do that. But then you have to fight. And in this fight, it's like a war. You can get bruised. You can get hurt. So you should be strong enough to be able to fight this war. Yeah, mentally strong. It's like so many attacks on you. And then not become bitter as well in this process, because when you fight too much, you can also become bitter. And make a game plan for women academics. I would say men, they come to the field with a plan, with their contacts and everything. We should also make a plan and then see strategically what are the things that we need to move forward, and then work on that. There is another thing that happens in academia. Women are dumped with a lot of work, which is like kitchen work of academia. Yeah, do this course, do that, do this, well done, you're doing so well, you're helping all of us, you're running the whole. But does it lead to promotions? Does it lead to anything else? It's just tap on the back. It's just telling you doing so well, you're running the whole thing, and just I'm feeling good. Wow, I'm running the whole thing. Yeah, but are you going to give me a promotion now? No, but you didn't have papers. You didn't do big things, because I was just so busy doing the small things that was holding the whole place. So women shouldn't be doing that actually. They should strategically say no, I'm not doing that. I'm already doing enough of this. I need to focus on things that matter. Yeah.
Yes, it really happens, I think, a lot of times. I mean, when you're trying to fix all small things, and then you don't have energy and time to do big things.
And then people come and say, well done again, you did so well. You are the one running the whole center, And then you just think, yes, but was I able to finish my work on my PhD to write that paper? So you should think, yeah, maybe you'll start saying no to me now for some things.
Okay. And the next question is about our team. Yeah. So we have very diverse team. I mean, we are all different. We have different personality, we have different attitudes. How you manage all our teamwork? Because I also work with our colleagues, but sometimes I see how you manage this like separately, but like in small groups with each small group in a big team, and everybody feels that they are connected with one I don't know, value or maybe responsibility. How you do this?
So I think first of all, when I look at a person, I see like what are they good at doing. Yeah, so I think you look at their strength and then you give them what you think they're good at. Don't give them other things. And they may show they shine in some ways, other ways, just let them shine in whatever they are doing. So just give them that task. Delegation is very good. So I always delegate, I have big ideas, but I am not always executing them. Yeah, yes. I just delegate. And then I think that's a good thing. And within delegation, there should be sub-delegation as well. So when I make a team, I make a leader, and then I say, okay, you will work with them. Yeah. So there is always like not all the burden on one person, but and then of course there are personality clashes, and I try to tackle them. I don't put people together. Let's sit and talk. We don't have time for all of these things we need to do. Yes. Yeah, so then I just handle them separately. I'll talk to them and I'll just try to come in between. And so we had several personality clashes, and then I just try to do. And also I think the important thing is start finish quickly. So we're not stuck with one project for a long time. Yes. Yeah, we have one intense project, everybody's so busy. There are deadlines, we finish and then we move on to the next one. If you are with one thing for a long time, then it becomes a problem. Yeah.
Yes, sometimes boring, sometimes maybe you just not follow what's happening at the end.
So that's why sometimes I give tough deadlines and they are a bit tough. Also, we work in these sprints. So we do something, too much work, and then we rest, and then we do something, and then there is rest. Yeah.
Yes.
So we work like that as well.
Sprints.
Yeah. So we do thing. Also, it is a marathon as well at the same time. Marathon towards the big goal that we all have. Mm-hmm. But then within that marathon, we have small sprint, and then we have rest breaks. Yeah. So then it doesn't become too exhausting.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much. I think it was really interesting conversation, and it will help people understand more about our research center, why we do research, what kind of research we are doing now, and maybe in the future you will be also interested to collaborate with us as a researcher, as a participant, or maybe being a member of our training programs. Who knows? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aygeri.
Thank you.